It is cold out, it is rainy out, we are still in lockdown, and I kind of want to do nothing except DIY some things that have been on my DIY list for around my place. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Sorry Girls. My name is Kelsey, and today we're honestly just gonna DIY some small for my apartment. They're pretty easy DIYs, but I also reached out to you guys on Instagram to see if there's any small DIY problems, DIY solvable problems that you have that I can help you with. So we're gonna dive into those today, and we're also gonna dive into DIY with my new Cricut Joy, which I'm so excited about. Thank you Cricut for sponsoring this video, and let's just get into it. Okay, so this DIY actually inspired this whole video, and it is making this cute. It is 2021. I don't know why our Kleenex or tissue boxes still look like this, but I'm going to DIY solve this so that they match our decor. Today we're gonna be making a sleek and modern faux leather pouch. Now I made a template for this that'll be up on the blog, so you're just going to go ahead and cut out those pieces. There's only 3 pieces that you're going to need, but if my pieces look a little different here, it's just because I'm currently trying to figure out the template. I'm using some faux leather that we just had at the office, and I think this actually used to be Becky's old headboard. Some nice leather though. And the top is actually going to be kind of folded in on itself so that the tissue can easily come out. I colored all the edges with just a simple brown marker because I wanted them to look a little bit more real and not like faux leather. Now I was getting out of the sewing machine and actually sew these pieces together, but I actually think gluing will work just fine and maybe even look better in this scenario since we're kind of dealing with some thick fabric here. And all you're gonna do is glue the bottoms together where the halfway markers line up, and then go up each side until you've reached about the height of what your Kleenex or tissue box is. I keep saying Kleenex, but it's tissue, but it's, you know. So the top of the side pieces aren't actually attached to anything, and they'll just kind of like fold in towards your box. Meanwhile, the front and the back fold over at the top, and then we're gonna go ahead and pierce through. You can either do this with scissors or a leather punch, which I forgot at the office. And then we're gonna actually put in our Chicago screws. And this will allow us to open up our pouch and put in a new tissue box when it needs replacing. So this next DIY I just really wanted to do for a long time now, and it is a little candle holder for some tapered candles. So I have some polymer clay here. Wait, first I need to preheat the oven. Preheat. Oh yeah, that's. And while your oven preheats, you're gonna wanna preheat your clay. By that I mean you just really need to work it around a lot because it starts off pretty hard. That's what she said. It's like such a hand workout. And just a reminder not to use like your cooking rolling pin when you're doing DIY projects like this. Make sure you have separate surfaces, separate rolling pins. Obviously this is just a towel, it is not a rolling pin, but hey, it does the job. Next up, we're gonna do the classic TSG trick of adding cracked pepper to our clay so that it gives it that speckled, you know, pottery look. Also, I need to shout out Kat right now because I was over at my friend's place a while back and she had the cutest little daintiest candle holder, and I did something that I hate when people do to me, and they go, where'd you buy that? Although this is a compliment, but they're like, where'd you get that? And I'm like, obviously I DIY'd it. Do you know what I do for a living? So she was like, I made it. And I was like, oh my God, it looks so cute. But she also used the speckled pepper trick. So that's on that. Thanks for the inspo, Kat. Oh boy. So cute though. So to make this candle holder, I'm going to make a circle base and make a long, slim side piece as the walls and use my finger to blend it all together. At some point it started to take on an organic shape, so I just kind of went with it until this looks like shit. They made fun of the other speckled vase for being a They're gonna make fun of this. Everyone say goodbye to the butthole. Okay, take two. Basically, I just did the same thing, but it takes a minute to smooth everything out, and I decided to go less organic this time. This little finger, aka handle, I'm attaching by just blending it all together. Lots of blending when it comes to working with polymer clay. You can also add some more pepper on top if you're losing some of the speckles through the blending. Then of course, place on a baking tray and pop it in the oven. This is tinfoil that I actually had from my Indian takeout yesterday because reuse, baby. Okay, and while that bakes, I'm going to move on to my next DIY solvable problem. So somebody asked for help with daily pill or vitamin storage that can be left out on the counter because if it's in sight, then it's like on mind. Within sight, within mind. They want it to be out in the open so that they remember to take it, which is super smart, but they don't want it on their counter because it's kind of an eyesore, which I totally understand. So I actually have these old kind of amber bottles. This one used to be a face cream. This one, I don't know. Now I'm sure a healthcare practitioner would tell you not to remove your pills from the like little orange capsules that they come in, but I think as long as you transfer the label to the back side, you don't have any like children or anyone in the house that shouldn't be taking your medication that might try to, then I think it's fine. Well, for example, we have some probiotics here and some digestive enzymes. You can see what kind of medication I need. Okay, probiotics and wait, what am I doing? This literally has the cutest bottle already. I just need to take off the label. Oh my gosh. Also, again, I'm gonna say this, just, you know, keep your labels somewhere safe. Put it on like the back side or the bottom side because safety. Okay, so now we have a bunch of bottles with a bunch of you know, medication and vitamins and probiotics inside. So to be personalizing this, I'm going to be using the Cricut Joy. I really love how small this machine is because it fits underneath the counter. It's easy to store. I can store it here instead of at the office. And it's really easy to bring from like room to room. If you're crafting, you don't have to have like a designated craft area. If you guys don't know what a Cricut is, you can cut out so many different things for so many different projects. You can really get creative here. What's also really great is that I can just connect this using Bluetooth, so I don't need to worry about cords. And then I just open up the Cricut Design Space, create my design, and we're good to go. And if you guys don't know, the Cricut Design Space is like really easy to use. Like you don't need to be any type of graphic designer, professional in order to use it. You can quickly and easily personalize anything with one cut and one color in 15 minutes or less. And guess what? That's how much time I need for baking all of this clay. Now, if you're a regular Cricut user, you might be wondering where the cutting mat is. Well, with the Cricut Joy and the Cricut Smart Materials, you don't need a mat. It is actually designed to work without a cutting mat. You can go ahead and start the cut. It does its little thing. I know it's hard to see, but I promise there are letters cut out there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and peel off the exterior so that it makes it easier to transfer. With all of the excess taken away, I can just take my transfer tape here. And then add to my jar. Okay, and just like that, I have all of my bottles and they're really cute. And I think that this does look a lot, but I didn't really take a before shot. Definitely cuter than this on your table, right? Now, clay creations are done, which also includes this little speckled cork that I made. Ah! See, this is why I wanted to use this bottle. Look! Look how cute! And then of course I have my little candle holder here, also adorable. Today's good. We're doing some good DIYs today, guys. But really, look how great this looked. And thanks again to Cricut for sponsoring, because these would have just been amber bottles without my Cricut. So let's go style this one too. So I'm downstairs here in my vanity bathroom area, and drawer organization seems to be something that I and you guys need a lot of help with. I have my hair drawer here. This is honestly what it looks like. It seems like I'm kind of like faking it and made it look extra bad, but this is just how messy it is. So we're gonna be making some custom drawer organizers to fit this drawer. So I think the first thing we wanna do is take out anything that we don't need, as well as organize the drawer without the drawer dividers to kind of know where we want the drawer dividers to go. Now, once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and measure the drawer and sketch out where I want my dividers to go. Now, to create these drawer dividers, I'm actually going to be using 1/8 inch hardboard, which is great because you can actually cut it with a utility knife. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut strips that are as tall as I want my dividers to be. So all of these dividers are going to be 4 inches tall. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those with a metal ruler. You can just go ahead and score the hardboard. It's going to take a couple passes, but eventually you'll get through, and it's pretty easy and you don't need power tools. But if you have a circle saw or another tool that you want to use, go ahead. I also definitely used that as well. You have options. Once you have all of your strips, you can then go ahead and cut it to the length that you want. And then the last step is to actually use the same method of scoring to cut out little notches. You're gonna do either the top half of your divider or the bottom half, depending on where they overlap. And this way they can easily click together. You don't need any glue. You don't need to nail anything together. And you can just go ahead and simply insert it into your drawer and then bring in all of your items that you want to organize. Super easy, super customizable. You can make it for literally any drawer size. And this, my anxiety just like went away. I just feel so much better now. Also, if you guys have a recommendation for a hair straightener, I've had this one, I feel like, since I was in high school, or maybe at least the first year of college. I think it's probably time for a new one. I just want something that will, not damage my hair too much, and that I can curl with it too, because I like to curl my hair with my hair straightener. That's all. I was about to head upstairs, but I remembered that there's actually a lot of comments about counter clutter, counter organization. I really try to keep things away in like drawers or medicine cabinets as much as possible, but I know that that isn't always possible. So you can see here that I've even tried to organize my clutter with some little trays. I actually made both of these in a pottery course, but I do have this marble platform here that I think will be bigger and make this even look less cluttered. Oh my God. You guys also asked me what this is. This is the Google Hub. I can control my smart home and watch Netflix on it. Tells me the weather. So yeah, this is the Google Hub. I have one in my kitchen too. I really like it. If you guys want a smart home tour, let me know. I have some smart things in my home. Okay, now I know you guys are going to really appreciate this one because I struggle with cords, and I know all of you do because on Instagram I saw so many of you asking for cord organization suggestions or DIY solutions. And I have a couple of ideas for you. You guys might know my little work from home hutch here. If you aren't familiar with this project, maybe you're not yet subscribed and you can consider doing that. I know the YouTube algorithm is really good at showing you new videos of ours if it's something that you do usually watch, but subscriber growth is just a fun goal for our team to participate in, so feel free to subscribe down below. But essentially I have a really messy drawer here that needs a lot of help. So I actually made a drawer insert the same way as I made the ones downstairs, but I painted these black to match the interior of my drawers. and this really helped organize the space. And you might notice that I have like an extension cord power bar here, and this is actually plugged into the wall. It enters from the back of my cabinet, and it sits in this drawer so that I can plug in things like my laptop, which then comes up through a hole into the fold down desk part. And I can also plug in other things that can charge in the drawer like batteries. I actually have this stuff that's like double-sided tape adhesive. It's kind of like if glue and tape had a baby together. In the film industry, we call this snot tape. And I'm just gonna use this to adhere the power bar to the drawer so that it isn't flopping around. And a pretty good hack when you're picking up any kind of extension cord or power bar is to try to get one that has USB plugs. These obviously come in super handy with all of the electronics that we have nowadays. And just like that, the drawer is organized and I can easily plug in everything, and it's out of sight and out of mind. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I hope you guys got some inspiration, because I think these are DIYs that we honestly could all use around our own homes or in our own spaces. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time here on The Sorry Girls, or on The Sorry Life, or on TikTok, or on Pinterest, or on our blog, or on Instagram. I'll see you guys around. Bye.